Hey everybody, welcome back to Vegas Tips and Tricks number 97. Just 4 shows remaining in our Vegas Tips and Tricks series. And yes, we have a couple more, at least a couple more resorts we're going to talk about over the next couple of weeks. And I want to start out today with the South Point. The South Point is all that remains of Michael Gowen's Coast Casinos empire, which at one time included the Barbary Coast, Gold Coast, Sun Coast, and Orleans as well. All of those properties were ultimately sold off. Other than the Barbary Coast, they all went to Boyd. Gowen kept the South Coast, which he renamed the South Point. Still, it does kind of remind you of the old coast casinos, good value gambling, eat foods, and accommodations. The South Point is located quite a ways south on the Strip. This is definitely not a property where you're going to walk to anywhere else. So unless you want to spend your time there or unless you have a car, South Point probably isn't a great choice. It has one very unique quality to it. It has an equestrian center, so it attracts a lot of cowboys, horse events, that sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, if you happen to be there during one of them, you can go check out the paddocks and such things. So pretty crazy. Rooms here are nice enough. Casino is kind of a warehousey sort of thing. It feels like a giant gymnasium, but they do have generally good odds on games. The property has some interesting eateries, both on the high end and the low end. On the low end, probably the cheapest buffet left in Las Vegas is at the South Point. It's not great, but it'll do in a pinch. South Point also has some great graveyard specials, those sort of midnight to 6 a.m. Deals you used to find everywhere. They're in the Coronado Cafe. So you happen to be staying there, you just happen to be there late at night. You can get the usual mix of things like a burger or steak and eggs or biscuits and gravy, and you'll pay a pittance for it. On the high end, a kind of secret, not so secret gourmet restaurant is Michael's. Yes, named after Michael Gowen. It originated way back at the Barbary Coast when that property was sold off. It was moved here to the South Point. It is really old school, really upscale kind of place. It's hard to get a reservation. Not everybody knows about it, but if you want some good food and you don't mind paying for it, Michael's is a good choice. Overall, the South Point is a nice place. I actually had occasion to stay there for a couple of nights years and years ago. But again, good value, just what you would expect. And hey, so if you don't mind being a little bit off the Strip for a couple of nights, South Point could be a good choice for you. All right, we'll be back next week. We have at least one more property we're going to review on this show. We'll be back on Saturday with another episode of Vegas Tips and Tricks Weekly. Until then, hope you have a great, lucky, and healthy week. We'll see y'all again real soon. Bye-bye.